Hello everyone, welcome to something very different for our channel. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this and put this together, or if it's even going to be cohesive or coherent. Probably not. I'm just kind of gonna run through my editing process for what I usually do for videos. It's not going to be a super in-depth, super technical thing, because there are so many things I realized I picked up along the way that I just can't even explain why I do it sometimes, or like what the full reason behind doing it is. But anyways, I just thought this would be interesting for myself, for posterity, like just kind of seeing how I learned this, what I picked up. And I thought it especially pertinent to do this right now because I just got Sony Vegas Pro 16, the latest version. I had been using 13 for the longest time. So I just got it, and I had to kind of reset and change some settings, kind of learn some things anew. So I was like, oh, well, why not learn some things anew and record it and stuff like that, right? Anyways, with that long-winded intro, I wanted to show you kind of what a typical episode goes like. So the first thing that I do is that once we record something, so we will use, I use OBS to record the game footage, and so I'll have the video file, and then I will use Audacity to record the audio file. And it's gonna kind of be difficult to do this right now because currently I'm recording my current audio. So when I show things that are going to happen in Audacity, it's going to be kind of confusing. I'll have to cut away and record on top of that. And on the top left, it says Baba Is You, episode 26 through 28 raw audio, because that is the audio I am going to be working with right now. I just finished editing through that. So let me go ahead and just show you how I do the audio super quick. Again, it's not going to be super technical. I'm not going to be able to explain every single little thing, but let me just show you what I do. Okay, so here we are. I've got the folder open for Baba Is You. So each series usually has its own folder, and I have a certain way of organizing stuff. So if you take a look, there's just a bunch of crap all there. It's a bunch of audio and Vegas profiles, but each episode also has its own thing. I don't know why there's one that's just episode without number. What is that? Anyways, so each episode has its own folder, and usually just has a thumbnail and a video in it. But so the reason I do this is because sometimes they'll have like different stuff I need to put in it. So if I do a certain edit with pictures in that episode, I want to keep it contained to that. Or if I need to like remove garage noise from one of them, I'll just stick it in the folder instead of like putting everything outside of it, because everything outside of the folder is pretty much just like, it's stuff that I won't get too confused. So it works for me. And for naming convention for the audio for each episode, it's just like, oh, episode whatever to whatever, how many episodes we do in one, raw audio. And then when it gets updated in Audacity, which we're about to do now, it's becomes updated audio. Yeah. So the file that we're going to be working with is episode 29 raw audio, since I just finished 26 through 28. And it takes a little bit between each process, whether you're dragging in like a huge file or you're gonna the next like filters that we're gonna be doing, that also takes a bit. So I'm gonna just be cutting around so we can fast forward that stuff. Okay, now that we've got the file loaded in, the very first thing that I do is I always go to the end to look for a bit of silence. So whenever I'm recording, I always make sure at the very, very end, I record some of just nothing, because I need to pick up the room noise in order to remove that first. Before, I would remove it like after I did the compression, but it turns out doing it beforehand is immensely helpful. So just at the very end, I always try and do it. So I'll say something like, oh, hold on, or give me a second to Doey, and we'll just like capture a bit of silence. So let's take a listen real quick. Over and out. Great. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, so normally I'm always saying something like, hold on, or give me a second, just to capture some noise at the end, background noise at the end. But yeah, it's not very audible initially because it's not boosted. Like we start off by capturing it pretty quiet. So the process that we're doing now is to make it all hearable, to make it so that the levels are balanced and everything sounds good. So everything starts off really quiet. We want that on purpose. So what we do now is, after we select our bit of room noise, we go to noise reduction. Oops, that's the wrong one. I'm professional, guys. We go to noise reduction, and we want to select get noise profile. So this will literally just sample that section that you have selected. So it's going to be like, okay, this one, got it. Then you hit Control A to select the entire timeline, go again. This time you want to hit OK. So pretty straightforward. What it's doing is literally just taking that sample and then removing that frequency from the entire track. It will probably differ between computers. Again, I always say that mine's not the best. It's like decent, but I feel like it could definitely, it could definitely stand to be a bit better. But, noise reduction tends to be the longest filter for me. I only really go through two. So between, noise remover and compression, noise reduction usually takes quite a while on my computer. So, I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead. But yeah, the processes especially take a lot longer because the files are so big. For Baba Is You specifically, we just take an especially long time. We need a lot of time off screen. Typically, series aren't like that on the channel. Normally, it's just like, we go straight forward. We don't really need much time off screen to do anything, so the files don't become huge. But in this case, it is. So that's why it takes 1,000 years. But anyways, so after I end up reducing the noise once, I actually tend to do it twice, and I don't remember exactly why. I just feel like it completely eliminates it. It's just kind of a safety thing. It seems to work out for me. So I usually end up doing it twice, and I usually just hit Control R because that'll just repeat it. So if you take a look up there, it'll just repeat the last process. So instead of having to do like, oh, noise reduction again, all that good stuff, you can just hit Control R, and so we'll do it again. After that finishes, the next one that I go to is compression. So we just click on it and okay, again, I'm not gonna be able to easily explain why my settings are what they are. It's just kind of I had a friend actually tell me their settings. So it's just been that over time. I just found out what works for me and I've stuck to it. So please feel free to look up tutorials and things like that. There's so many resources online to better explain what might work better for you. But basically, I end up compressing it twice as well. I used to only compress it once, but now I've just compressed it twice. And I do it at different values because it's just kind of what I thought made the audio sound nice. So first I start at -24 and then I bump it to -23 the second round. And I don't know, I just end up liking how it turns out. Again, I'm bad at explaining. Okay, and then I'm just running it a second time around. So I can't just hit Control R this time because then it would run it with the exact same numbers. So normally I just open the window back up and I switch it to 23 and then I hit OK and play the waiting game again. Okay, so once that finishes, the next step would be more noise reduction because once you boost the volume with compression, it will be much more audible. But before that, I wanted to show you the difference before and after compressing. So you can tell the levels are much different than before. Here's undoing it once, and here's undoing it again. So the original levels are very low. Let's take a listen. Sentence horizontally, but yeah, and then in comparison to when it's updated, yeah, we can't do Keka Is You. So that's much louder. So therefore, again, the noise is going to be much more audible. So let's see. Okay, hold on. So it'll actually be pretty hard to hear unless you're like really looking out for it and you've got like headphones on and everything's isolated, but it's there, trust me. And I want to make sure, especially to only capture room noise, because just now in the a little before the selection, there was a bit of like me hitting something or just like some kind of random noise. So you want to make sure that you isolate just the room noise, and I'm just going to repeat the process twice again, and we will be done with editing the audio. Okay, so the audio is ready to go, but before we move on, I actually wanted to show you like a more clear example of the room noise because I know it was probably not easy to hear. So I'm just going to undo all the way to the beginning, and I'm just going to boost the volume to a more dramatic level just so you can kind of hear it. So let's just turn that she is all the way the heck up. Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's turn that down just a little bit. Here, let's just...
Zoe,
over and out. Great. Yeah, so being aware of this is good because it's not easy to pick up by default if you record at low levels like I do. And also, I think my microphone just doesn't pick up as much room noise as others may. But if you just play it normally, like you can't hear anything. You can barely hear anything. There's just a little bit. So, but being aware of that and removing the noise properly is a good time. Okay, so now that we finished updating the audio, actually, there's just one quick thing I wanted to share. Normally I wouldn't be showing this because this is when we actually record, but I think I forgot to say in the beginning. I'll throw it in there. I learned my basics of editing through Barry from Game Grumps. And I just learned so much from his video. Sorry that this video is all over the place. It's not scripted, so it's just me as a blubbering mess. But something that he does that I actually had to do just now because I have to sync up my audio to the video that I'm recording, so I wanted to share, is that you just do a little like visual sync along with your voice so that you can line them up really easily together. So in the very beginning, when you hit record on both of them, they're not going to be lined up, right? The audio and video. How are you supposed to line it up? So usually I just hit recycle bin and then just go back and forth between two things on the desktop. So I just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. And then that makes it super easy to line it up. I definitely did not know that in the beginning when I was first starting out Let's Play, so it was pretty difficult. I gave myself a hard time, so I'm very glad that I learned that through Barry. I'm very, very grateful. Anyways, so now trying out the newest version, Vegas Pro 16. So it looks pretty different from what I'm used to. Just in terms of like some things in the layout. When I first opened it up, all the windows were like all over the place. They were completely different. I was so confused. So I arranged it in the way that I'm used to. So this pretty much looks like what I'm used to in Vegas Pro 13. And some of the initial changes I had to make were, for one, the default here is usually the highest quality you can get. So like your default thing, it'll probably be like 1080p, 60 frames per second, stuff like that. I have to change it because my computer, I've had to compromise over the years. My computer's not super strong. So when I'm recording with the game capture for the video footage, I have to lower it so that it's not as big, it's not as like intense and stuff like that. So I have to first change that. So I think I went to properties. Where did I go? Yes, I went to properties and I had to change it from here. So they have some default profiles here that you can use. So I think originally it was 1080, this one, or not this one because it's 25 frames per second. But anyways, it was one of these ones. And so I'm going to change it to this because that is what I am used to using. Okay. And I also noticed that this video preview thing was huge right here. But okay. So let me go ahead and drag the footage. So here it is. So it went a lot faster because I had already pre-dragged it in, so it already had it in the project media. But normally it takes a second. It can take a little bit to load because these files are huge. They're gigantic. What is this? 3 gigabytes. This one's 2. Oh, I think I saw like 6. Oh, that's why, because combined they're 6. But some of them can be ridiculously long, ridiculously intense because for Baba's You especially, we take like up to hours, like half an hour to hours off screen trying to solve the puzzles, so these video files end up really long. That's unusual though. Normally we don't do that with the series. It's just Baba Is You. But anyways, so we do that. That's good. Then we drag the audio that we updated. Oops, I gotta drag both of these episodes. So we drag them into a new timeline. Good to go. And also, these are like huge compared to what I'm used to. I'm used to it being like at least this size. I wonder if you can change that in defaults. I'll have to figure that out later. But oh, wait, that's interesting. Okay, I got confused. Okay, I think normally the the audio tracks don't normally have these labels on top. I think that's what it is. Oh, that's different. Can I change that? I'll look into that soon enough. But wait, what? Oh, there we go. Okay, interesting. All right, yeah, learning process for me and you. Okay, yeah, I'm used to that. I like that better, because if it'd only take up the top left, that looks a lot better to me. Wait, what else is there? I'm kind of curious now. Active take information. Oh, okay. I I think I like it with the little banners. That's not too intrusive for me so far, I think. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm just waiting for this audio to load in. Another thing I wasn't used to was, I think at first, the default for the video preview, rather, let me go ahead and show you. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is different. So there's muting, solo. I'm used to seeing some other stuff here. I'm kind of confused right now. I'll get used to it. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is crazy. Sorry, you guys. Can I expand this part? Oh, I'm used to there being more here. Huh. I'll have to compare side by side with the Vegas Pro 13 later. Anyways, so I'm getting distracted. Oh yes, okay. So originally, this video preview here was like really blurry. I think it did like that or something. Yeah, it was something crazy like that. I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god, like why is it so blurry? And so over time, I remember during Vegas Pro 13, I had to change it to best, and I just leave it at auto. Or did I want to do full? Okay, okay. Normally I left it on auto, but it kind of still looks a little bit blurry. So I guess full is like the best quality you can possibly get. I know if your computer is not strong enough, it'll be super hard for it to like even play back if you do it on the best setting, but I think looks like my computer can handle it, thank god. All right, my next step, again, I won't be able to explain every single little thing that I do, but I do this. So I right click the video and I do disable resample because my computer was struggling to do the playback, and I looked up like there's over the years, I've just Googled every little problem I've had and I've just picked it up along the way. But I think doing this, for some reason, if it does resample, it like has to chug some extra stuff in order to play back. So this just kind of gets rid of that. I don't exactly know the reasoning behind it, but that's just the thing I do. So I just do that immediately. The next thing that I do is I go to the event pan/crop. And you have to click the beginning of it, because if you click anywhere else and you like change a setting, so it changes the size. Here, let me make it very dramatic so you'll see for sure. So it'll make this change. So say you want your screen to be that small for some reason. Maybe you want to move it somewhere, put it in a corner, who knows? So you want to make your screen that small, but you want it to do it for the entire video, right? So you're like, okay, I did it. But then you'll notice, so it just kind of over time slowly becomes smaller over the episodes. Like, wait, what happened? Why did it do that? So you want to delete this little node here and make sure you click the very beginning. And so the number that I'm putting here is, I've memorized it. It's 1318.4. That is the number, magical number that works for me. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to put in my little background. So I'm going to cut around a little bit. Let's see. Let me find it. Where did I put everything? I'm organized, I say. Here we go. I'm so organized. Okay, so I've got all my little assets that I need to use, and so I put this in here. Okay, here's our little background. How do I... Oh my gosh, I don't want to click the wrong thing. So solo means I can only see that, I think. Oh, interesting. It says mute, even though it just means turning it off. I wonder if it always said mute. Anyways, so just turning off the video layer, you can see the background. That is our background that we typically use. I drew that a long time ago. So we do this just to have that little border. It's like, oh, you're watching an astropill video. Yay, cool. So we turn this back on, and now you can see it, right? So normally, if you don't have that, let me just take that off. Oopsie. Actually, 1280, I think that's the default. Yes, 1280p. So it's that's the default to 1280 by 720. But anyways, so yeah, normally that's what it is. That's how it looks. All right. So there you go. And there you go. So that's the next thing that I do. What's my next step? After that, I immediately lower the audio. So each game has like a different level for me, right? I kind of start memorizing numbers, I believe, for Baba Is You specifically. I don't know why I tend to have to change it. I think it's because whether I'm alone, whether I'm sitting next to the mic, or if it's Doey sitting next to the mic, the numbers kind of end up changing. But I believe I want to lower the gain by -3.4. I think that's the number that has been settling for Baba Is You. So let's take a listen real quick. And let's mute the game audio. Yeah, and so as you saw in the last...
If I remember.
So it sounds a tiny bit loud in my ear, but let's see.
If I remember.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit loud in my ear. Let's see how that compares against the game audio.
If I remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Oh,
Here we go. So we looked at. So it's really quiet, right? I think what I ended up doing, for some reason, the process has been crazy for Baba Is You. I can't even begin to talk about it, but I think I have to bump it all the way up. Let's see.
If I remember.
And even higher than that. So this is where I'm confused. There is a thing you can do. Where is it? Hold up. Okay, weird. Normally there are, again, I stated earlier, there are normally more buttons here. There's usually one for track effects, so I had to kind of seek that out. You can see it here now, but basically if you click more and you click track effects, it'll pop up this thing. And normally I think it's disconnected. Oh yeah, this! I think it's normally something like this. One of these buttons. That's weird. Maybe I can figure out how to look that up later. Hi, I also don't know where I'm going to put this. Oh my god. I was trying to end video and then I was trying to figure out how to make the track effects pop up because I was so frustrated that it wasn't there because it's so essential for me. I'm always clicking on this kind of stuff in order to mess with the audio for that particular track. So you can change the defaults of what shows up through, let's see, track... What is it? Set default track properties. So this is what will... Oh, wait. That wasn't it. No. I found something else. Oh my god. Where did it go? Edit visible button set. Oh my god. Why is it so confusing? So yeah, that's where it was. So you click on this little thing, edit visible button set. So normally for video, I think I don't typically need to click anything here, but for audio, I definitely do. So I clicked on this, and then I made the track effects show up. So all this other stuff I don't really use. Oh, wait, actually, record input. Let me see. Yes, sometimes I will need this. Oh my god, you guys, why weren't they default? What the heck? Do I usually use anything else? Let me double check right now. No, I think that's it. Okay, to explain. Yeah, so you've already heard me talk about this, so I'm glad I made this show up. Thank God, that's going to make things a lot easier. The reason I need this one is because sometimes I will record in Vegas Pro itself for varying reasons, like song covers. It usually makes it easier if like the instrumental's here and I'm singing here. It makes things a lot easier. So sometimes when I'm recording, I need to change the input of my microphone because since I have a mono thing and I have two inputs on my Focusrite audio interface thing, my microphone is plugged into the left input, the first input. So if I try to hit record right now, for example, let me go ahead and show it. Where's the record button? Oh my god, is that another thing that I need to... Is this it? Oh my god, it is! Even the record button was gone! Okay, let's just say, yeah, let's put my audio that I record into documents or something. I'm gonna go ahead and mute this so that you won't hear me as I'm trying to hit record. So if you take a look on here, it only shows one track. So we're gonna go ahead and record something. Blah, 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 I'm recording right now. Yes, cool. So it's probably gonna be pretty quiet because it's, my default audio is kind of quiet, but let's see. Let's just slide that up. Blah, 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 I'm recording right now. Yes, cool. So if you'll notice, it's only coming out of one ear. And it's like, well, what's going on? That's weird. So again, I don't know if all the technical stuff about it exactly, but I want to click on the input and click left. And so that'll make it so that it turns mono and it's specifically choosing my input where my microphone is. Because I think if I choose right, it should be gone. So it's reading an input that doesn't have anything plugged in right now. So yeah, anyways, this is specific to people who are using my setup. But anyways, just wanted to share that. So now if we record something, it should be in both ears. Now if we record something, perfect, yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, just wanted to share that because, again, essential tools that are apparently not there by default. Maybe because not everybody needs them. But even then, maybe they should put them all, a bunch of crap there so you can get the option to remove it if you want to. Huh? Vegas Pro? Okay. All right, that's it. Bye. Anyways, so... Again, I can't explain the numbers, but these are numbers I picked up from my audio engineering friend. She recommended them to me to basically make my audio sound a bit better. I don't understand the mechanics behind everything, but I'm just kind of nervous. I want to make sure I'm on the track effect. Yes, it says track 3. So I definitely know it's affecting just this track. And normally it's pretty easy to tell because you can just click on it and you'll know that you're on that track. But anyways, so just to keep track, it's up there. So I'm only affecting track 3, which is us talking. So these are the numbers that I put. So I do that under track compressor, under EQ. I want to get rid of everything that's under 80. because that's just all like background noise. It's not speech. So I normally just kind of set it at that. The last thing that I tend to do is I downloaded a sibilance removal. What is that even called? The thing where it gets rid of your harsh S's and T sounds and stuff like that. I don't think I have it available in the new Vegas Pro yet, so let me go ahead and put that in. Okay, that took a little bit to set up, but basically a long time ago, I had a friend recommend to me different things I could do with the audio. One thing that I thought would be good for me is, so I learned the name after I was searching through the files, a de-esser. That's what it's called, a de-esser. So that gets rid of, like, it lessens the impact of the S's and T's and the severity of that and stuff like that. So I have one called Spitfish. I think just Googled it. It's by Digital Fish Phones. That was so long ago. I can't even remember how long ago it was when I first downloaded that. But yeah. And then basically, again, these were settings I learned a long time ago. What I have on the screen is what I usually use. So you can actually set it to a preset if you want to. So there are some presets that they have here, but I had already loaded in one that I just called it like astropill or whatever, and it's just a little file. So I just double click the file and it automatically sets it to that. So these are the settings that I have if you would like to see it. So that's all I do for the audio, basically. Though I think there's one last thing I have to do with this one. I think this is the game audio that I'm clicking on right now. So now that I know where the track effects are. So I have track effects, track 2, for sure. I don't need to do anything special with this other than possibly bumping up the volume even further, because I think I have it a little bit higher for this series. Let me see. Play, hello, video, if you want just, there we go. Very cool, I like that a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those, but I guess for some reason, I was just like, let's go to the letters instead, even though word is pretty fun. Hold on, because that's a great idea. Okay, so maybe that's a little too loud now. It's tricky, it kind of differs per thing. Let me see. What if you do, wait, rock is push and more. Yeah, you know what, that sounds about right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, great, we finally have that all set up. And I'm going to go ahead and line up the video. So this was the sync I was talking about. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to be able to show you, but I'm dumb. Of course I'm going to be able to show you. Let's see.
Do you still hear music?
Yeah. 2, 3, 1, 2. There we go. So I hear myself counting, so I got to find it in the video itself. Let's see. So it's right around there. It's right around here. I'm going to remove everything else and just grab the essential part. Syncing. 1. Okay, almost. Syncing. 1, 2. Not quite. 1, 2, 1, thinking, 1, thinking, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, thinking, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Wow, okay, my voice is still a little bit faster. Hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Great, awesome. So yeah, that now we can be reassured that the video and the audio are completely lined up. So I'm gonna look for the beginning of the episode. It kind of looks like maybe it starts here.
Hey everyone, welcome.
There we go. Yep, that's Doey chiming in right there. So I just use S. S is my favorite tool. It's just the cutting. So I just literally tap S right here, and then before I would just hit. I think you can literally just hit delete on your keyboard. Let me see. Yeah, you can hit delete on your keyboard, but the fastest thing for me is just to literally hit cut. I just don't need to hit paste. That's all it is. So I just do Control X. I just cut it. So S and Control X are things I use very commonly when I'm editing. So now we just need a little bit of a break before Doey starts talking.
Hey everyone,
So that sounds pretty good. So if you hit S on an empty part of the timeline, it will affect everything. So it's going to cut every single one. If you only want to cut one of them, you select specifically that timeline. You can see on the left side that it's highlighted here, so you can see which one you're selecting, like that. So that will only affect that one. But since I want to cut everything, I can do that on an empty part. Yeah. So then I'm just going to do this. I select everything with shift and then I just cut it all out. I'm going to move this over a little bit. And so we've pretty much got this. And then I'll go ahead and sync this one too. Why not? Let's get rid of this background part. Yeah, let's go ahead and sync this one and this one. Okay. Negative 3.4. All right, here we go. Me counting probably around here. 2, 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I might have synced twice, or because I've been testing the audio pretty thoroughly in Baba Is You, so let's go ahead and see. I might have synced somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. I'm still watching. There we go. I'm about to sync. Okay, right there. So right around here, maybe? Gonna sink, recycle bin, 1, 2. Not quite, almost there. Gonna sink, recycle bin, 1. Dang it. Gonna sink, recycle bin, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. There we go. So that's where that is, and this is definitely, so I believe I'm starting this episode because my waveforms tend to be a lot bigger than Doey's, so let's see if this is me. Hello? Yep. Yep. So you can kind of tell who's talking depending on the waveforms. I'm much louder. Okay. Hello, everyone! So that's about good right there. Get rid of that. Don't need it anymore, and we are all synced up for, oh wow, I'm not used to the selection turning everything white. That's kind of interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, yeah, so we've got that. My next step at this point, oh, I haven't even saved this entire time. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Let's go ahead and save. Sorry if I have to blur out the screen in a couple parts. There might be sensitive information on my computer. You know how it is. Y'all know how it be. Okay, so then I just select the Baba Is You folder, and so something that I'm kind of noticing, let me explain. So usually I have to break up the episodes by, I think I've done maybe six in a Vegas Pro project, because when I put in too many, this is just a me problem because my computer's not powerful, but if I put in too many episodes into one project, it becomes so slow. It takes forever to load it back. So like, say I leave the window and I go somewhere else. I just go to, you can't see it because it went on my second desktop, but say I go to Audacity because I want to check something, and then I go back, right? So that was instant. I came back and I could immediately start doing stuff again. But usually, if there's too much stuff inside the project, it takes forever. So like, I'll do this, I'll come back, and then that 2 seconds of my mouse turning into a little circle to load, that would take maybe like up to 30 or more seconds before I could do anything. So to make up for that, I started breaking it up into different ones instead of putting like an entire project into one project. So let's go ahead and, what episode is this that we are on? Give me just a moment. Okay, wait, I'm dumb. Right, literally right here. And you know what? These little labels are they're actually useful. I don't think I normally had them, but these are actually useful. I can just see right here. This one's starting from 26. So counting from 26, like, so 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So I usually just do about 7 or so episodes. So let's say 26 to 32. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes things happen, but see, like the previous one, it was supposed to end on 26, but I was like, screw it. I'll just move it to a new project. That's how to do it. Okay, so we're going to save that. And I got distracted. So I'm going to open up an older project because I want to take the intro and outro from it. So normally I can just go to my assets folder, right? But this is just something I had to tweak over the years. So I keep forgetting the numbers. Like, I have to lower the volume because the default volume is like too loud. I could just re-render it so that I don't have to keep doing that every time, but I don't know. This is what I've gotten used to. Also, some really, really random tidbit. In the original audio for our outro, let's see. It kind of ends on a beat that's sort of awkward. I actually changed it. Hold on. Oh, okay. I changed it there. Normally that last little normally the last one, it kind of it's the offbeat one. So it goes offbeat, onbeat, offbeat, onbeat, and then it's an offbeat one. So it's just like really awkward. It's like really awkward. Sorry, this is not gonna make any sense to you guys. I am rambling so much. Is this fun? Is this interesting? I don't know. Anyways, so I've had to edit it so that I move it over so that it kind of ends in a nice sounding way. It's the last thing you hear, so nobody will notice it. But now I've exposed myself to everybody. Now you all know my secret. But because I have to edit it every single time, I decided I just copy and paste it from each project. So just give me a second. I'm gonna older up. Yes, I'm gonna older up a folder. Open up an older file. Hold up. I'm so good at this, you guys. Wow. Opening up an older project in the new Sony Vegas Pro, it looks crazy. Oh my god, it looks like a huge mess. I think I'm not used to there's being so many colors. Yeah, I think everything's usually a lot lighter. It's just some things are color coded, but I think now it's like a whole color block because everything's like dark mode. Every single thing project out there, every single program out there is turning into dark mode. So I guess this is what they got to do. But anyways, okay. So I don't need to super wait for everything to load. Basically, this section is all I need. So if you can see, I edited one tiny note. This is what I'm talking about here. So without that, normally it's over here. That. So I find that really awkward, and normally that's just how it is in the song. Like there's one again, there's an offbeat, onbeat, offbeat, onbeat, but ending on an offbeat one, it sounds really strange to me. So I basically have had to just edit that each time. Great, I hit undo, and now it's taking forever because it's still loading everything else. Welp, see you in a second. I don't know what was going on, so I had to reopen it. Anyways, it's taking a long time to load for some reason. Maybe it's just because, like, it's the first time it's opening up in Vegas Pro 16. But anyways, so, okay, I'm just gonna copy these two. That's basically all I needed from this project. Yeah, pretty much, that's all I needed from this project. Let's see, this is on the same timeline as the top one, that one. Okay, good to know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this because I don't need it anymore. Go back to this one. And I'm just gonna go ahead and paste it. Hopefully, actually, let me make a new audio track so that'll pop down there. Yeah? Yeah, cool, good to go. So normally, this audio line would just be right underneath, right? So it would join the Baba Is You game audio, but because I bumped the game audio up to 12, I don't want the intro freaking blasting your ears out, okay? So that's why it's on a different timeline because of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the beginning. There it is, and I just check really quick about the spacing, so I just check this.
Hey everyone, welcome.
So that seems about good. And that's basically all I do for that. The outro, I just it's kind of annoying because of this little piece. Honestly, I should just render it like this. I really should, but I don't know. I've done this for so long. I've just gotten in the habit of doing that. So the episode's going to end probably like around here somewhere, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave this over here at the end of this chunk of 3 episodes. Okay, so that's basically how I started.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Astropill Guest Expedition with Doe, and we're playing Baba Is You.
Yeah, and so so that seems about right to me. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a speed edit thing, cut around. So normally I'll listen through the whole thing and see how to go, but say I'm in a hurry, sometimes I'll just, for Baba Is You specifically, I will look for places to cut. So let me go ahead and see. I'm sure every single episode we have places we need to cut. So let's see. So there's not much there. I just look in the waveforms for like parts where we get kind of quiet. Let's see. Actually become the key. Looks like we're doing all these okay on screen though. I think because this was the lost episode. So we lost the footage to this episode. So we needed to just redo levels. So I guess we kind of knew what we were doing now. Some of them I think we didn't though. Some of them I legitimately think we forgot how to do it. We needed time off screen. So I'm gonna keep going to look for that real quick. Okay, it took me a bit of jumping around, but I found one. So I do recall that we had trouble remembering how to do this puzzle. So see you later. So then I cut out basically just everything right after. Doey tends to make a lot of noise as I'm trying to cut out. So later. So there we go. So I just get a little bit of space, so it's not too jarring of a jump to the next part, and then I just look for when we come back. Nope, not there. Oh, there we go. So you can see a clear difference in the waveforms. It's very quiet here because we're just, we're just talking amongst ourselves, and then we're like, oh, we got it. Let's come back. So I'm just gonna cut before it and give a little bit of space. Let's see. Okay, right. We're back. There we go. There it is. So then I just cut out everything in between and just select everything, drag it on over, and let's see. Anna's on screen. See you later. Okay, right. Yeah, so in the music even kind of like looped perfectly in there. Pretty cool, me. Anyways, so let's keep going, and I think that's about the end.
This is Doey.
Over and out. Yeah, there it is. So it's all about looking at the waveforms, and you kind of just figure it out eventually, and then I'll just cut, and here's the next episode right here. So let me give that a little bit of space so I can separate everything. Hello, so yeah, there we go, and give some space to cut out here. Over and out. That looks about good. So then I just cut everything in between, move this on over a little bit, and then I'm going to put the intro and outro. So that's why before in the timeline, I had the outro first, because normally I just like combine. Oh wait, did I select it? Because the intro is going to be sitting after the outro for the next episode, right? So if I put it here, then the intro would be over here. So that's why earlier on the timeline, the outro was first and the intro was here. So let me go ahead and grab these. Grab these, put over here, and there we go. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. And then, just kidding. It for that section, it for that part. After that, over here, I put some little overlay on top. So, at the end screens, we just put some text, and then we put videos that you can see on our channel, other things that you can go to. So let me go ahead and just grab a random one. I'll be right back. Okay, I actually wanted to show you what the folder looked like. I've had to organize it over time because each one just has like different text. But from far away, see, like when I open it, it takes forever to open the preview. So if I'm like, what was this one again? What's the text? Like I don't remember. So see how long that took just to open this up. So this is just literally PNGs of the text that I can just slot onto there and put different series and stuff like that. But you know, it takes forever to load. I don't remember what's on there, so I actually just made a doc. I straight up just made a doc to like let me know what's on each one. I've been trying to put as many different things as I can. I don't really remember all of them. But let's just grab like a random one. Let's go, I don't know, number 5 or something like that. So I don't have to open anything. I just have to open this document. So I know that number 5 is Lost Constellation and Layton's Mystery Journey. So let's just put that there and I just drag it across. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay, so when we play it, there it is. Just settling on in there. So that's good to go. After that, I usually highlight the whole thing because sometimes I will render in batches. So like instead of just rendering one episode at a time, if I've like edited a bunch of them at once, then I can do this like neat thing. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. Did I accidentally just select? Yes. Okay, good. So I select the whole thing and I just hit R to make a region so that it will, I can easily select that specific section again if I need to for whatever reason. So this is episode, what is it, 26? Yeah, episode 26. So even if I like, select this or something like that, I can just double click these little green tabs and it'll select this region for me again. So that if I want to render it for example, I can just hit render as, and then there's a little tick box, I think, that has render selected section or something like, wow, this looks really different. Oh my goodness, this looks so different. They might not have my setting now that I think about it. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to set that up. Dude, this is all a learning experience for me too, a relearning experience. I've had everything in place for so long that I just can't remember half of this stuff. Oh my god. Where is that little tick box render options? Yeah, okay, render loop region only. So if this is ticked, then it'll literally only render what's selected. One time. So I've always had to learn all of these through hard lessons. One time I didn't have that selected and I didn't know where to find it. So what ended up happening was it tried to render my entire Vegas Pro project. So not only this one, but like everything that is on the timeline, it tried to render it. And I did not know what was going on. It was so frustrating. So that's what that is. I think, just 1280 by and 60 is normally what's good for me, but I feel like I made a custom setting that had some things that are different. So you know what, just for the sake of, oops, sorry, I hit the mic filter, the pop filter. Just for the sake of being consistent, I'm gonna go ahead and look at my old project and grab those settings and put it in here just in case. Okay, this is fascinating. So I'm in 13 right now, and I haven't messed with this very much because there's like a lot of different things here. But when you're rendering, you can render to a lot of different outputs. The only one that I've ever messed with is main concept AVC/AAC. So under here, it's got a bunch of different formats that you can choose. I believe I looked at a tutorial a long time ago. I probably picked Internet HD 720p, and I think I customized it to different stuff to eventually come up with this one, this profile. It's just a custom one. So I was taking a look at the settings. I got so confused because when I was over here on 16, there wasn't something called main concept AVC/AAC. There's main concept here, but these are a very different file format. It comes out to be M2T. So I think Magic's AVC/AAC is probably what I want because when I click on it, it is an MP4. So I'm trying to look for something with a similar profile, and I guess we'll just make some changes from there. So I need 720p but 60 FPS. So also, I don't know the difference between the NVIDIA NVENC and the one that's not. Wow, I'm so confused right now. I've not touched this in forever, but I guess I'm just gonna copy what I got here. So, can I actually let it go like that? Yeah, looks like it's letting me do the same thing. Okay, no progressive scan. Yeah, I followed one of those, like, you literally YouTube, and it's like, best settings for rendering for YouTube or whatever. I just literally followed one of those. I have no idea what any of this really means, but it's worked out for me, so I'm just gonna I'm just gonna go ahead and save it. I don't know what any of this means. Oopsie. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Good. Yeah, definitely. Don't need that to pass. So the encoder is a little bit different because this is rendering CPU and it's also got this other stuff. I know that you can use like your graphics something. I'm so good at technology, but like my computer is not strong enough or whatever. This is a little bit different. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't know which one to pick. The important thing here really was just the FPS. The rest, I think it's just variable at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rename it. So let's just name it the same thing, just because I'm used to the name. So YouTube 720p, 60 FPS render. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at that because that's what I'm used to. Great. So I think it should have showed up, and then I'm gonna star it. I think I can do the same as on 13, where I can make it so that only starred ones are shown. We can worry about that one later. Anyway, so eventually, after that, you would literally just hit render, and you would just let it start rendering. Oh, there's an estimated file size. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so that's what you would do there. I'm trying to think if there is anything else I need to show you. Just as a quick cut-in, I have no idea where I'm going to put this, but I thought it might be helpful if I mentioned what equipment we're using. So for recording the audio, I have a Shure SM7B microphone, and it is being fed through a Scarlett Focusrite 2i4 2nd gen, as well as a Cloudlifter CL1. So I don't know if that would be helpful in any way, but that is my setup. And also my headphones, I might have already said it, don't know, is a Sennheiser HD 280 Pro. So those are all the tools I basically use for recording and editing and stuff like that. And my game capture is an Elgato HD 60S. So I think those are basically most of the tools that I use alongside, Sony Vegas and Audacity, as you've seen, and OBS. So yeah. Okay, here's actually one other thing I wanted to talk about, because in Barry's video, he showed some other cool things where he edits in the text, he makes like fun things fly across the screen. I don't do that too often. I will do that sometimes, but anyway, so I don't need to focus on that. There's plenty of tutorials out there for that. But anyways, one thing that I talk about sometimes, but that one would not typically notice because I remove it, is that I am right above the garage, and it sucks. And people were having a field day going in and out of the house the day that we were recording this particular session. It was not great. So it kept going off, and I'm going to have so much fun editing it all out, but I just wanted to expose more of my secrets and show you what happens when it goes off. So this is what it sounds like raw. I muted the game audio so you can just hear us, but...
Team. Yeah, but no mistakes at work, so that's great. There's so many times when I'll definitely... Oh, I hated this one.
Ooh.
Do you remember this?
Yeah. So continue what you said before we go on. Continue what you were saying before we go on. So, okay, this whole section. Wow, that was a long thing. Okay, so I'm going to mark where it is. Let's see.
Yeah, but...
So it kind of starts right there. So I press M to just kind of mark a spot. You can also name the markers if you would like, so it can be pretty useful depending on what you want to do. But, before we go on. Continue what you were saying before. So it ends at about here. So this whole thing, I'm just gonna type garage. Fun, love it. I don't know where else I'm gonna find more fun surprises, but it's okay. I'll find them as I slowly listen to the whole thing. So what I have to do here is pretty irritating.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, so I just kind of grab the beginning of that section, and let's see. Continue what you were saying before we go on. So it kind of cuts off in the middle of it, so I can't just like cut it in the middle, right? So basically I just find an empty spot. So we're kind of breathing there, but yeah, there's about an empty spot right there. So I just select this. Oh my god, nightmare. Ooh, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this part. Hold on. I think I need to arrange it easily so I can find it as fast as I can, like I do in 13. But anyways, let's see. Wave. Yes, wave audio. Yes, this is what I want. Yes, okay. So I want things in mono because my microphone records mono, not stereo. So let's see. I don't remember what I normally pick. I still have this open. Maybe I can... Let's see. What do I normally have? So I go to... Oh my god. Okay. Things are formatted a little bit differently, but they did make some things a little easier that I've noticed, which is kind of cool. I also saw that it says save. That's pretty cool. Save project markers and rendered media file. Yeah, there's some cool stuff here that I'm looking forward to testing out for this one. But anyways, they also made it so you could just search it here. I don't think you could easily do that here. I could be wrong in 13. But anyways, so when I couldn't find MP3, I was like, where is it? So I literally just typed MP3 and okay, there it is. So I just started it. And then I starred the ones I liked in the wave one, which disappeared, so I can just type wave. There we go. Yeah, so then I found where to find show favorites only. Just like it is here, here it is. So that makes things a lot easier for me. So I'm going to get rid of this. Huh. Interesting. Okay, instead of showing like all of my favorites, because this has both video and audio, it seems to only be showing my favorites. Ah! I see now. Okay. I kind of like it better where it's like all of it together, but this isn't too bad. It's just an extra click. So which I see in each category what I like the most. Cool. All right. Anyways, we're going to go with wave and go mono render. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I already muted the game audio, so everything should be good to go here, and it should have only gotten that section of the garage that I had just now. And just give us a moment while we switch on over to Audacity and the folders themselves. So we've got everything going. I accidentally rendered to the wrong folder. It's in Documents, so I'm dragging it to the correct folder right now. And as I mentioned before, I put it specifically in the folder of that episode, just so I don't mix that up. So the naming convention I usually go with is just Baba's You, episode whatever, in this case 26, and I say Garage. And I put a 1 next to it because sometimes in certain episodes, there will be instances of the garage going off multiple times, which definitely happened within these couple of episodes in this batch. It's driving me insane. So just to not mix things up, I'll put in like garage 1, and then when I get rid of it, it'll say garage 1 removed, and then if there's a second one, garage 2 removed, and then it all stays really compact in the same folder. So it's nice. It's nice, I came up with a little system. Works for me. Okay, let's just go ahead and drag that in. So, like before, we kind of want to look for a patch of no talking because, that'll be the easiest way to isolate the sound, get a sound sample of exactly what we want. So let's take a listen. So it would be a lot more difficult to go in spaces where we're talking, even if it's just a little gap like this.
It's great.
So you can hear it and it's kind of mixed up. It's really hard to isolate it like that. So this nice patch of just garage noise, pure garage noise, is exactly what we need. So we're going to do the same as before. We're going to choose noise reduction and then get noise sample just for that little clip. Select the whole thing and let noise reduction do its job. And there isn't going to be a progress bar like before because this clip is so short. So we just go ahead and hit Control R to repeat it again, and let's take a listen. So a lot quieter this time, but it's still audible. So I just do the same thing, just like with the background noise reduction. So I select the sample, let it do its job, hit Control R to do it again, and nothing left. Yeah, so I usually do the noise removal with 2 different stages of the noise just to make sure I can fully remove it. It's not a professional sounding job or anything, as it does make the audio sound a little funny. It's not as crisp as the rest without the garage sounds, but it's good enough for what we need. With the way I do it, you can still hear the garage a little on speech when our vocal frequencies kind of align with the frequency of the garage. Let's go ahead and take a listen real quick so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but no mistakes at work, so that's great. There's so many times when I'll
Oh, right there on the word time. Could you hear it?
There's so many times.
Yeah, so you can hear it if you're really looking out for it, but otherwise it's not something that's going to be too noticeable. Let's go ahead and export this and drag it on over to our project. Okay, so now that we're coming back in the project, something to note is that I didn't need to adjust any of the filters or volumes or anything of this clip that I'm going to be putting back in because, it's already been applied when it was rendered. So I guess basically when I put the clip back in, it's going to be like double filtered, but that's not really a problem. Again, you're not really going to notice it with a bunch of stuff layered on top, but it's just something to note. So let's just go ahead and drag the clip in. Make sure we line that up. Just going to drag it on over a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a listen between the two, the transition right here where there was not garage and where there was garage and it got removed. So let's go ahead and hear. Yeah, good work.
Good work, team. Yeah, but no mistakes at work, so that's great. There's so many times.
Okay, so, it's not too much of a difference, and it's going to be barely noticeable with the game audio on. Let's go ahead and try that.
Good work, team. Yeah, but no mistakes at work, so that's great. There's so many times when I'll definitely. Oh, I hated this one.
Ooh.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, so continue what you said before we go on. Yeah, so there was even a bit of silence within the game audio, and it still wasn't too noticeable. Overall, it makes the audio sound a bit more muffled when this method is done because it needs to knock out this whole range of frequencies, but it'll be a good, quick and dirty thing for getting rid of like lawnmowers, airplanes, garages, stuff like that. But it's really situational, and you don't want to be using this on your voice acting auditions or anything. In that case, just wait for a more opportune time to do a clean take. But otherwise, this is usually what I do for getting rid of garages. Okay, I think the last thing I can think of off the top of my head, I can always do, I don't know, another video, but this is pretty much everything. But the last thing I can think of off the top of my head is what I was mentioning a while back, batch rendering. So if I want to do multiple episodes, render them all at once instead of having to render one of them and then wait and then have to select a new section and do that again. Hopefully, I think it should be in the same place. So let's say this is another episode. So I'm going to turn it into a region. Let's say this is episode 27. So now we have 2 episodes that I want to render one after the other. I can walk away, eat dinner, all that stuff, come back, and hopefully it's all done. So we want to go to Tools, Scripting, Batch Render. Right? I'm so glad I discovered this. And basically, I just choose, wait, that's interesting. This looks just like the one in 13, but okay. The menu is pretty much the same as in 13, so that's good. Anyway, so I just picked the usual, so my main concept AVC thing, and I've got my little setting here. That's interesting. Is this like transported from 13? I'm kind of confused. But I don't know if the format should be exactly like that. Anyways, well, my setting is here. That's all I care about. So instead of rendering the project, though, you want to render regions. So remember, hitting R for regions makes these little green tabs pop up. So we hit regions, and then we just pick a folder or whatever, and then just hit OK. And then it's going to start. I'll just show you. It's going to start rendering each one, and you can see which one it's doing on the bottom. So it's kind of confusing, but 0 means the first one. So 1 will mean it's on the second one. So since it's on 0, it is currently rendering the first region. And that's pretty much what it is. So it's a very, very useful tool. I'm glad that I found it because I thought I was going to have to do everything one by one, keep having to come back to the computer and check. It's pretty annoying. But yeah, I think that is everything. Thank you if you took the time to watch this. I don't know if this was at all informative. I know I was rambling and mess all over the place, disorganized, but this is just something I kind of wanted to share and talk about and sort of reflect on myself and be proud of how much I've kind of picked up over the years. It's really simple stuff, but just all these little things that I've had to learn the hard way. I've combined and now I can use it, just all these little things like, disabling resample because of blah, 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 changing this, changing that. Actually, something that was bothering me I wanted to change was, this thing is huge compared to in Sony 13. Let me just change that real quick. Why am I doing this now when I'm trying to end the video? I don't know. So I think I figured out how to get rid of it. The toolbar is at the top, which I need. I like this, so I'm going to keep that. But I don't know what this is. Status bar? Oh, that's the I see. And then the transport. I don't know what the transport bar would be useful for. But anyways, now I can get a nice big preview. I like that a lot better. Anyways, wow, I got distracted trying to end the episode. Thanks for joining me for this, and I discovered a lot along the way trying to learn Vegas Pro 16. So, see you next time. If you have any questions, just comment. I can do my best to help. And, yeah, this is Axis, over and out.